Right now at 10, new charges are filed after child sex crime allegations at Sun Prairie West High School. We will hear from the attorney for the school's former principal. And Madison philanthropist Jerry Frautschi has passed away. We will detail his contributions to the arts in the city. Plus, the Packers are getting ready for their big game in the Windy City. We're there to preview tomorrow's action. That's all coming up on News 3 Now at 10. Good evening, and thank you for joining us on this Friday. I'm Sarah Carlson. Eric Franke is off tonight. Well, from rumors of child sex abuse to a criminal investigation, it ends with criminal charges against the former principal of Sun Prairie West High School, accused of failing to report the abuse. But according to law enforcement and parents in the district, the journey from the 2023 school year was way too long. Our Arman Rahman reports.
The nature of the neglect and the extent of the neglect to protect children, that was just overwhelmingly shocking.
Shocking, Sun Prairie West parent Lisa Goldsberry says to hear that the high school's former principal Jennifer Ploger has been charged with failing to report abuse allegations, including one that former Dean of Students Robert Gilkey Messigeyer was having an inappropriate relationship with a student.
Principal Ploger mentioned the allegation to law enforcement, but did not present a full account of her knowledge of misconduct and withheld information.
Students who tried bringing rumors about Gilkey Messigeyer to light faced disciplinary action. Goldsberry used to serve on Sun Prairie School Board.
The number one thing I often heard was, I don't want to file a formal complaint because I don't want my kids to get the backlash. And so then to hear the report and see like kids were literally being suspended for speaking up, it's just like, okay, I get it now.
Ploger's attorney says they are vigorously fighting the charges of failure to report child abuse.
She is being used as a scapegoat in this situation. Educators are placed in this rock and a hard place position where they have a duty and an expectation to investigate. But then now, because we don't like the outcome of that investigation, then someone can be charged with a crime.
Later in June of 2025, after the rumors persisted, the district placed Gilkey Messigeyer on leave before firing him that same month.
Students must know adults will act when concerns arise. Educators and administrators must know that mandated reporting laws exist to protect children. This incident has shaken our community.
At some point, there was a culture created that welcomed pedophiles in our district. Like, maybe kids are not as protected as they should be in our schools, and that's sad.
Reporting in Sun Prairie, Arman Rahman, News 3 Now.
Arman, thank you. Police also referred charges against another staff member for failure to report child abuse. However, the district attorney will not be pursuing charges in that case. And now to our first warn forecast. We've had rain last night, and now we're looking at snow. Alex, what a mix.
Yes, what a mix. What weather pattern are we going to get? From day to day, it keeps changing. Well, tomorrow it's going to change over to snow here, and widespread snow from Madison and areas off towards the east, a little bit more intermittent to the west, and then that pushes through. By the time we get to noon, we have partly cloudy skies, partly sunny conditions building in, at least for a little bit. The clouds will fill back in, and we'll see a few more snow showers as we go into Saturday evening and Saturday overnight. We are expecting light snow, and with the combination of gusty winds, expect some slick spots in area roadways. If you have any travel tomorrow, maybe you're heading to Chicago or anywhere in the state, all of us will be impacted, but light snow amounts is what I want to emphasize here. We're not looking at a significant winter weather event, but just a little bit can cause those few slick spots. Tonight we'll do upper 20s to right around 30 degrees. That snow building in to southwest Wisconsin towards daybreak. Highs tomorrow in the upper 20s to the lower 30s. That's fairly close to normal for this time of year. And let's plan our day here in Madison. That's snow 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and then we break into that little bit of sunshine between 1 and 3 o'clock with more clouds building in and a few more snow showers as we go into Saturday night. How much snow are we talking? The totals have gone down even further. I'll break that down when I come back in just a little bit.
Sounds great. Thank you, Alex. Madison philanthropist Jerry Frautschi has passed away. Jerry is the former co-owner of the now closed Web Crafters printing company. He and his wife, Pleasant Rowland, founder of American Girl Dolls, have been a prominent philanthropic couple, well known for donating $205 million to build Madison's Overture Center. And that remains the largest contribution to arts in U.S. history. A representative of his foundation said that Frautschi passed away while vacationing in Florida yesterday. He was 94 years old. The Wisconsin teenager who killed a prison guard during a fistfight has pled guilty while also claiming mental illness. Javarius Hurd entered a plea of guilty by reason of mental disease or defect to second-degree reckless homicide. The charges are in connection to the 2024 death of Corey Prolks at Lincoln Hills Copper Lakes School. Hurd also pleaded guilty to one count of battery by a prisoner. Prosecutors dropped a second battery count in exchange for these pleas. We're learning more about the deadly shooting that took place this week in Minneapolis. New video posted by Vice President J.D. Vance shows video from another angle of the shooting. This comes as Mayor Jacob Frey criticized the Trump administration's decision to remove state authorities from the shooting investigation.
This is not a time to hide from the facts. This is a time to embrace them, making sure that we're pushing for transparency every step of the way.
The agent who shot the woman has been identified as Jonathan Ross, who has worked with ICE in Minnesota for nearly a decade. Ross was involved in another vehicle-related incident last June. Court documents for that say he was dragged approximately 100 yards with his arm inside a car while trying to execute an immigration warrant. And here in Madison, protesters took to the streets following that death. The demonstration was hosted by Voces de la Frontera. Organizers say federal agents who murder people should be held accountable.
If we let this go, then no one is safe. No one is safe who is going to protest the kind of conditions that we are anything that we're holding our government accountable to, whether that's housing, immigration rights, then we're basically saying they have carte blanche to shoot people at will and get away with it.
Similar protests have taken place across the country, while Minnesota Governor Tim Walz declared today a day of unity and called on everyone to observe a moment of silence for the woman who was shot and killed. For the first time in more than 15 years, the race for the governor's seat is wide open as Tony Evers is not seeking re-election. Joel Brennan, the former secretary of the Wisconsin Department of Administration, announced his campaign 1 month ago. He served under Governor Tony Evers from 2019 to 2022. In his campaign announcement today, Brennan touted his experience and listed housing and healthcare affordability concerns as top priorities for his campaign.
One of the ways I think it's going to be very different, that I can be a different kind of governor than Tony Evers has been, is I'll be able to be on the offensive a little bit more. There are things that he's been unable to do and been thwarted in the legislature by that we can do. The number one thing is expanding Medicaid, and expanding Badger Care.
Brennan joins a large Democratic primary field. You can see 9 candidates in that race. On the Republican side, there are 3. You can hear how Brennan plans to fundraise competitively this Sunday at 10:30 a.m. on For the Record. Well, everyone's talking about the warm weather today, but local music lovers are getting ready for the annual Freezing Man concert for Joey Song. That's a local nonprofit that raises money for epilepsy research. And that was just a sample from Tears for Fears frontman Kurt Smith with an old favorite. Joey Song will pack the Sylvie tomorrow night with dozens of Grammy winners and Hall of Famers, including members of Garbage, Silver Sun Pickups, the Bangles, Guns N' Roses, Goo Goo Dolls, the Go-Go's, Letters to Cleo, Soul Asylum, and more. The beloved Wisconsin comic Charlie Berens will also be on stage. And the amazing part, all of these artists and celebrities are 100% volunteer.
There's an organization called CURE out of Chicago that has really smart people that know how to read medical grants, and they take 100% of what we give them and goes right to the researchers. So even though they have overhead, it doesn't cover their overhead.
And it's a blast. Tomorrow night, the artists will be playing some of the songs of their own, covering other well-known hits, though, as well, and even hosting a competition. For tickets or to make a donation, you can head to joeysong.org. And now to the big game of the weekend. Sports director Andrew Banstra and reporter Nash Dara are in Chicago tonight, getting ready to provide full coverage of tomorrow night's playoff matchup between the Packers and the Bears. Nash was able to catch up with Green Bay faithful and a special guest before the big game. And Nash, how's it going?
What a day it has been in Chicago for Andrew and I as we are inching closer to Saturday Night Football between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears right here outside the historic Soldier Field. However, earlier this afternoon, we were able to catch up with some fans at a bar on the north side repping their green and gold, something you don't see too often here in the Windy City, that's for sure. And I was able to run into one familiar face that you may recognize. Here in Chicago, you go to a Chicago bar, you see that much green and gold. Is that just wild for you to see, or what was it like for Packer fans in there? How amped up are they?
No, they're super amped up, but no, it's not surprising. I mean, it's a big-time playoff game. It's a rivalry game. It's not like they're that far apart. What is it, a couple-hour drive?
Yeah, 2 hours.
Yeah, so you would expect that. You know, these are historic franchises, and it's a fun season, and that's what the game is for. The season's coming to a close, and people want to show their passion.
I also asked Richard if I could get his score prediction for the game tomorrow night, but he told me that I would just have to wait till the broadcast at 7 p.m. Just building more anticipation. But for now, until then, outside of the beautiful Soldier Field with the lights behind me, Nash Dara, News 3 Sports.
All right, thank you so much, Nash, and I can represent the green here. Coming up next tonight at 10, President Trump meets with top U.S. oil company executives. And authorities investigate a shooting in Portland involving federal agents. We'll have the latest as the victims recover in the hospital.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. Authorities are investigating a shooting that involved federal agents in Portland, Oregon. Homeland Security officials say that this happened during a targeted vehicle stop and called the two people injured suspected associates of the Venezuelan Tren de Aragua gang. The injured couple was taken to the hospital after being found more than 2 miles from the scene.
We know what the federal government says happened here. There was a time when we could take them at their word. That time is long past.
Local leaders are calling for ICE to halt all operations in the city until a full investigation is complete. President Trump says the U.S. stands to make a lot of money off of Venezuelan oil. Today, he hosted executives from some of America's biggest oil companies to discuss investments in Venezuela and rebuilding its oil industry. The meeting comes as the U.S. continues to carry out its blockade of ships linked to Venezuela carrying sanctioned oil. And now to the weather, some snow in the forecast, something we're looking at closely, Alex. Hard to believe that's coming.
After all that rain, yeah, snow. We're going to trade in the spring-like conditions for wintry conditions as we go into Saturday morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. Expect snow, especially for Madison areas to the south and towards the east. And we've had some additional updates with our weather model, and I'm going to share that here with you. Let's put it into motion as we head towards 8 o'clock in the morning. Snow potentially ending for Madison, Dells down to Monroe. Another band of snow out to the west towards Camp Douglas, down to Boscoville. This is a back edge of this weather system that's going to sweep on through them. We're going to get a break as we head towards noon, and then clouds will fill in way behind the weather system, maybe a couple more snow showers and flurries, but that won't add up too much more as we go into Saturday afternoon, going into Saturday evening. Overall amounts, this is what we're up against here. This is why we're not calling this an alert day weather system, or one reason I should say. Amounts are still coming down, maybe meaning they're getting lower. 1 to 2 inches east of Madison, maybe an isolated 3-inch amount near the Lake Michigan shoreline, and then less than an inch west of Madison, where I was just showing that the snow might be a little bit more in the scattered nature west of Madison. Now, we will also have to deal with winds tomorrow, gusting at times to 25 to 30 miles per hour, maybe even 35 mile per hour wind gusts as we go into Saturday evening. But by that time, the snow is done. It stays breezy on Sunday as well. Maybe just a quick easing up of the winds as we go for just a wee bit into Sunday afternoon before the winds pick back up again Sunday night. Why not an alert day? Earlier in the week, late last weekend, we were first to let you know this looked like it was going to be an impactful weather maker. As we moved through the week, each day as we got closer, we started mentioning, well, the track is moving to the east. It's trending weaker, which means less snow and a less impactful weather system. And that's the way that it looks like this weather system will pan out. Why we are not coining this, why we are not highlighting this with alert day wording, because we're expecting about an inch of snow and some gusty winds, and while there will be some impacts to travel, we're not expecting significant impacts to travel. Chicago, Green Bay, snow showers, gusty winds, breezy conditions. Bundle on up for the game as we head into Saturday. Tonight, upper 20s, lower 30s. That snow building in as we head closer to daybreak on Friday. As we get a little bit further into Saturday, again, snow to start the day. The snow will likely end right around noon, and then maybe a few afternoon flurries with highs in the upper 20s to the lower 30s. And then looking at our 10-day forecast, let's take that all the way full screen there. Any snow that we do get, it's going to melt. By the time we get to Monday going on into Tuesday, we're back up to 41 degrees by the time we get to Tuesday. It's not till later next week that we start to see the weather conditions start to cool down. So just breaking this all down, could have a couple rain, snow showers throughout the week. Overall temperatures mild to start. Cooler by next weekend, but not expecting alert days at this point in time next week.
All right, we'll take it. Thank you, Alex.
Sure.
And coming up next in sports, we head back out to Chicago with more live coverage on the Packers' upcoming playoff game against the Chicago Bears. Stay with us.
And now, News 3 Now Sports, brought to you by TDS Telecom.
Packers, Bears, playoffs. 3 words that are rare air in the NFL. And tomorrow night, for just the 3rd time ever, the arch rivals meet in the postseason. Oh, and by the way, the last 2 times that they met in the playoffs, the winner went on to win it all. Jordan Love said, admittedly, it's a rivalry he didn't know that much about before arriving in Green Bay, which is understandable for a California kid. But when it comes to Jayden Reed, no one knows better.
I've been watching, the rivalry all my life, really. Being a kid from Chicago, just watching, I mean, it was hard being a Bears fan because, you just watch the Packers, beat the Bears every year, from my perspective. But, yeah, man, it's a blessing to be a part of and, just knowing what it takes. And I'm excited to be a part of it.
Nowadays, Love, too, is well-versed on the NFL's most storied rivalry. But unlike the Bears, he has the playoff experience to know no matter who you're playing, games like these are special.
These are the moments, you want as a player. You want those big moments, a big rivalry game. Like you mentioned, we haven't met in the playoffs, and, I don't know when the last time was. And so, it's a big stage where, it's win or go home. So this is what you want as a player, to be able to thrive in and go out there and play your best ball.
Josh Jacobs took that even a step further. One of the NFL's best backs has only played in 2 playoff games in his career, and only 1 as a Packer, making games like tomorrow at this beautiful football cathedrals the reason why you spend half a season playing through a knee injury, why you grind your entire life for a game, and the path to becoming a true legend.
These is the moments that we dreamed of our whole life. Since we was a little kid, wanted to play in these type of situations. The reason why we worked as hard as we did, sacrificed whatever, to be in these situations, to have a chance to play in the Super Bowl, which a lot of people don't get to do at all in their career. So we know that, this opportunity is unique, and we don't want to take it for granted.
Now, inspiration only takes you so far, and the red zone issues that the Packers have faced, well, they are glaring. Our senior Packers writer Jason Welby breaks down this key to a green and gold victory.
Here we go.
She's here.
Please welcome to The Late Show, Taylor Swift.
Hey, Taylor.
Hey, Steven.
The Late Show, CBS Tonight.
Finally tonight, the saga is over. The bear we've been seeing and talking about that settled under this home in Altadena, California for months has been evicted. Poor dude. Security camera footage shows the bear racing around the house as a volunteer from the nonprofit Bear League uses paintballs to scare it away. So this bear is tagged, but they don't know where it is right now, and only time will tell if it's gone for good. I love how there's this swagger, like, yeah, I'll leave when I feel like it, whatever. Anyway, they don't have snow there, at least.
Nope,
There's no way to track that bear.
But yeah, that's true. We can track some bears, I guess, here in southern Wisconsin. Hopefully they're all doing their thing and not living underneath somebody's house. But we're expecting even less snow now, Sarah, in southern Wisconsin than what we were looking at earlier in our evening newscasts. An inch or less for Madison, 1 to 2 to the east of Madison. It will be combined with some gusty winds, so there will be some impacts and some slick travel tomorrow. So just take it a little bit on the slower side.
Good to know. Thank you, Alex, and thanks for watching News 3 Now at 10. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert is up next, and Go Pack Go. Have a great weekend.